Hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you know, climate change has been one of the biggest topics. I'm not against it per se. I do think that we need to take care of the environment, but it is also important to acknowledge that if you fact check what we're being told about climate change by the mainstream media, we will likely find that a lot of it, as it is being reported and announced, a lot of it is part of a certain agenda. For one, it is very ironic, it is quite ironic that the world leaders who attended the most recent WF summit in Davos each took their private jet, burning tons and tons of fuel, polluting the environment in order to discuss the importance of green energy transition. Well, several days ago, the head of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, informed us that climate change actually has a direct impact on banking. That is, it has a direct impact on how you will be allowed to bank. In a rather ominous video and tone, Christine Lagarde says, "You have been warned. Floods, droughts, and wildfires of last year, those were just the preview of what is to come." Those are her words, the preview of what is to come. She then goes on to explain that a hotter climate is changing the economy and therefore it is changing our financial system. But that's not the most concerning part of the 1 minute long video that I'm about to show you. The part that made me worried is the last sentence. In that last sentence, the head of the European Central Bank says that they will work on reducing the carbon footprint in everything that they do, from, and listen to this, from banknotes to how they supervise banks. What is this telling us? So according to Lagarde, banknotes are bad because they make climate change worse. Is that what I'm hearing? And therefore they must reduce banknotes? This would mean that the answer to the dilemma is, of course, a cashless society. Remember that although we may not like the presentation, we should not dismiss the message. Watch the video.
Floods, droughts, and wildfires last year were just a preview of what is to come. A hotter climate and nature loss are changing our economy and our financial system. At the ECB, we must understand this change to ensure financial stability and to fulfill our price stability mandate. With our new climate and nature plan, we focus on the following three things. First, the green transition. Second, the growing physical impact of climate change. And third, the risks from nature loss and degradation. We will study the impact on the economy and the financial system. This will help us improve our own models. We will also work to reduce our carbon footprint in everything we do, from banknotes to how we supervise banks.
First of all, someone needs to help us understand why the head of the European Central Bank makes an announcement using that type of tone about climate change. You would think that it is a job of someone who's actually qualified to speak about the changes in nature, in the environment, a scientist. I want to expand a little bit on Christine Lagarde's message and focus on her statement that the green energy transition will impact the economy and the banking industry in particular. Frank Elderson, ECB Supervisory Board Vice Chair, Christine Lagarde's colleague, recently stated that it is not an easy process and the transition to a green economy poses inevitable risks to banks. Those are his words. Here's what he said. Banks need to start planning for this transition. Failing to plan is planning to fail. I've mentioned this before, but with the rollout of central bank digital currencies, and I have several videos here on my channel about the progress and about the digital euro specifically, we have to understand that more likely than not, smaller to mid-sized banks will be consolidated. This is because banks have to be able to have the infrastructure, the IT infrastructure, and meet new and existing regulatory requirements to transact in digital currencies. Also, it's about the level of control, of course. So it is true that the banking industry faces significant risks and changes. In the same post that you can find on the ECB website, he goes on. Our analysis of 95 banks covering 75% of euro area loans shows that current banks' credit portfolios are substantially misaligned with the goals of the Paris Agreement, leading to elevated transition risks for roughly 90% of these banks. After reading this, one of the top questions to ask would be, will these banks be ready to transition? Will they get the assistance they need and the guidance from ECB? And if they're not ready, is someone going to bail them out? What will happen to customers' deposits once those banks are theoretically put into receivership? Obviously, nobody will answer those questions now, but these are the things to think about and to plan for accordingly. His article on ECB website actually gets worse, believe it or not. Additionally, 70% of these banks could face elevated litigation risks as they are publicly committed to the Paris Agreement, but their credit portfolio is still measurably misaligned with it. It is therefore vital that these banks do more work with their counterparties to ensure the companies they finance do not prevent them from living up to their net zero commitment. This is more relevant than ever, considering that climate litigation has skyrocketed in recent years. So to sum this up, not only are banknotes, or in other words, traditional cash, is now used as something negative, something that causes climate change and increases carbon footprint, but also we're learning that banks are required and expected to undergo a process of a transition to green economy, while 90% of them appear to be in a very high risk territory. Let me know in the comments what is your take on this and what will be the final outcome. Cashless society, yes, definitely. I think that's pretty obvious, but what else are you expecting from this? Comment below, let us know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Please show your support. It matters. It means a lot to me and it goes a long way. Give this video a thumbs up. Consider sharing this video and subscribe both on Rumble and YouTube. I would love to see you on Rumble as well. And don't forget to follow me on Substack for more content on a weekly basis. Have a great rest of your day and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.